Hey everybody, we are continuing our study of the Psalms through the month of January with our church family. Today we are in Psalm 104. I would love for you to read this. It's about 35 verses, but I'll be kind of picking out a few ideas from this, and hopefully it will aid you as you read and study this today. This is a psalm that would be a really good read as you are hiking on a trail and you notice the trees, or you step outside in your backyard and you see a sunset, or you're at the beach and you try to imagine the horizon line and how big and grand God's creation is. You would pull out a psalm like Psalm 104 to give you the words to say, to give honor and put God as the creator and sustainer of this creation. And so it's certainly a psalm of God's greatness, how big he is. It says right from the beginning that he is clothed with light. His clothes are like light. He's able to ride the clouds like a chariot. And he's so powerful that him putting water on planet Earth was like covering the earth like a garment with water. What a powerful image of who God is and his greatness. But it is a psalm about that. It's also a psalm about God's ongoing care for what he's made. He didn't just make things and put them there and then step back and say, and let us figure out how to manage all of this and leave us to our own devices and abandon his creation. He's intimately involved today with his creation. He says, the psalmist says, God makes the grass grow for the cattle. He provides for the cattle. He gives water to the beast. He makes trees homes for the birds. It even says the lions roar for their prey and seek their food from God. In verse 27, it says, all creatures look to you to give them their food at the proper time. Saying all creation is dependent on a God who's giving ongoing care to creation. Every creature's eyes are on God to provide this. It says, when you give it to them, they gather it up. When you open your hand, they are satisfied with good things. So while creation is looking to God, he readily provides good things to his creation. So it's a psalm about creation, the creator God. It's a psalm about God's ongoing care, but it's also a psalm about hope. One of the big metaphors that you see in this psalm, Psalm 104, is this idea of water. And to the Israelite people, water represented chaos. It's the unknown. It's something that's out there. They hadn't seen how the earth was round yet. They hadn't figured all of that out. And so it was this idea of chaos. And you think about Genesis 1, and you see the Spirit of God hovering over the waters. That line is a representative of God saying, before creation was created, God was there over the unformed creation. It's interesting because where the Israelites saw chaos, in this psalm, it's God sees potential. So where we see chaos, God sees potential. In verse 8, it says, these waters, he made them flow over the mountains. They went down into the valleys to the place you assigned for them. He's saying everything that he's made, including the waters of chaos, were assigned by God for a purpose. And there's a ton of hope in that. And when we encounter chaos, when we encounter things that we don't understand, there's a God who is there forming those things for his purpose. Where we see chaos, God sees potential. And then in verse 31, it ends this way, a call to us to worship. It says in verse 31, may the glory of the Lord endure forever. May the Lord rejoice in his works. And certainly he is rejoicing in his works. He created you and I and said, it is very good. And God is using and turning our chaos, the things that we don't understand, the things that we're struggling with, into his purpose and his plan. And so I hope Psalm 104 is an encouragement for you today. Dig into it. I'd love for you guys to ask questions and comment on what you thought about this scripture. But I hope this can find you well and encourage you today. Love you all. Thanks.